A couple of weeks ago, I came across something that said, how you overcame, and you sharing that story is going to be someone's survival kit. So as you all are listening to the stories today, I hope you're tapping into what your takeaways are going to be, because you never know when you have to lean on that for your key to survival. My story today is about my journey to joy, how I got there and how I stay there. So let's start off like this. Turn to the person on your left and ask them this. Are you in a relationship that requires an exit strategy? Okay, then do it to the person on the right. Are you in a relationship that requires an exit strategy?
I'm not. That's my husband right there, so I'm saying no.
So what I know, if you are like me and grew up in a Baptist church, when they tell you to look to the left and the right, and if it ain't the person on the left and the right that needs that done, it's you. And so let me tell you about what I realized about my relationship and the exit strategy that I needed. The relationship was very unconventional. I had an inappropriate relationship with success, because I had defined my success by the achievement of a position in an organization, and I would not let anything go until I got there. I lost myself in pursuit of something that I tied to a success. That's not healthy. That's not the right thing to do. So what I had to do was to get really clear about my life and make some tough decisions. And there are 4 things that I say that I did in order to pursue joy and to stay there. Those 4 things are clarity, number 1. Number 2, purpose. Number 3, actions. Number 4, your tribe. Let's talk about them one by one. Number 1, clarity. Being the studious person I am, I went to the dictionary to understand how is clarity defined. And there were 2 words that stood out for me. Number 1 was understanding, and number 2 was freedom. And I did not have any of those in my life when I was in pursuit of this success. And how did I know that I didn't have those things? It's because I was in the routine of life. Alarm goes off. You get up, you empty your bladder, you brush your teeth, you get him up, you get him dressed, you go down, you get in the car, you get in the job, you have meeting after meeting after meeting, you get back in the car, you cook dinner, you kiss him goodnight, make sure everybody's okay, and start over again. You can't have understanding and you can't have freedom if that is what your life is like. When I had to get very clear, and I have some folks here supporting me today, and I went to a retreat where the outcome was obtaining clarity. And they handed me a blank sheet of paper with the time and the quietness and the stillness of life. You get real clear about what's happening. And what I got clear about during that retreat was that my journey, my pursuit was not success, it was significance. Because success is temporary and significance is long term. So if you're taking notes, your first action related to clarity is create a space for quietness and stillness in your life so you can know what your pursuit on this journey is. Number 2, purpose. When I was very clear about my life and I knew significance was my pursuit, I was able to clearly state that my purpose in life is leveraging my energy, my passion, my strategic mindset, and my ability to create a movement to make an impact in this world. Period. I was real clear about my purpose because I had the clarity I needed to be able to define it. Second action, define your purpose if you haven't already. Number 3, action. This was probably one of the biggest things that I had to wrestle with. Because if you are not clear and if you don't know your purpose, you say yes to anything. Can you do this, Shakeya? Oh yeah. Can you go do that, Shakeya? Absolutely. And when you don't have time for anything else, you don't have time to love and to read and experience the joys of life, because every time you're turning around, you're saying yes. And what does that mean? Number one, my Nana always told me, you teach people how to treat you. So people weren't coming to me because what I authentically offer this world in alignment with my purpose, but they were coming to me because I had said yes. I diluted the word yes. So I had to become real clear that my yeses would be in alignment with my purpose, and I would stand in my power of no, and it was a complete sentence, and I would not judge or shame myself because of it, period. We are always just compromising everything in our lives for something that we don't have clarity around. And that's not acceptable if you want to live a joy-filled life, period. Your next action is give yourself permission. And when I say that, I want you to write a permission slip that I will say no to things that are not in alignment with my purpose, and I will create an exit strategy if I need to, period. Fourth thing. The fourth thing is your tribe. And I don't know what it is about us as women that we have to be all and do all to all things, everybody, every time. Yes, I am that person. We have attached judgment and shame to being vulnerable. We have attached judgment and shame to asking for help. And what I learned on this journey to joy is I could not go at it alone. I needed people that I could lean on. And I say this all the time. Cheryl Sandberg, I appreciate you. I have a seat at the table with men, sometimes the only woman of color there representing and moving organizations along the continuum, but I can't lean on nobody because nobody taught me how to do that. Mm-hmm. That is not acceptable. We have to do better. We have to have those people in our lives that when we can't stand on our own, they hold us up. When we can't breathe because something in life is suffocating us, they're breathing for us and they're helping us along the way. Your fourth action, determine who that tribe is. And I'll be here this afternoon. If you can't find nobody, call me. I'll be there to support you along the way. And as I wrap up, I want to share with you guys about joy, because I said I am on a journey to joy. I'm living this joy-filled life. And what you have to understand about joy is another word that's diluted because everybody is using it. Joy is a very personal experience. Joy cannot be defined by anyone else. It can only be defined by you. My definition of joy for me is when my heart, my mind, and my soul creates a magical vibration in my body where I can't do anything else but just jump up and say, oh yeah! That's joy in my life. And joy is something that you intentionally set out to do. You have created an intention in this world to attract and live in joy. And so these are the things that help me stay in alignment so I can experience life and not just be here existing in it. Thank you.